Hello there my fellow holotable heroes and welcome to another Conquest video guide. Now this one I wanted to touch upon a couple of topics here. So the mainly one I want to spend a lot of time talking about different data disks sets that are very effective. So I kind of put together two very powerful data disk sets that can pretty much cover any sort of scenario here. So the first one I like to call the Self-destruct set, and then another one gone in 30 seconds. So these two sets I was using throughout Conquest 16, and because Conquest 17 and 18 they obviously have the same data disk, you can look out for those disks to create these two powerful data disk sets that will allow you to totally break the Conquest. I was able also this time to come across the War Attrition data disks, so I put it to a quick test just to see is it worth it taking up 4 slots in your inventory or not. And obviously we do have a new droid, Old Republic Droid Sortie, that was launched into the game last night, and I wanted to show you how it can make an immediate impact on your Conquest experience for those Old Republic battles and as well droid battles, just giving you more teams, quicker ways to get those feats done. Even at low gear, I have her at gear 8 3 stars. She is absolutely brilliant in combination obviously with the data disk set that I will cover. So let's just start off with the first data disk set. I want to talk about the Self-destruct data disk set. Now why is it called Self-destruct data disk set? Because as you can see, I've got 3 stacks of caustic emissions, so anytime enemy gets a turn, at the beginning of the turn they get lots of damage over times applying on them, and then with thermal exhaust will apply then more debuffs on them with thermal detonators, and this will then reach a point that enemy gets applied more than 10 debuffs at the beginning of each of their turns, which means they will constantly be ability blocked even at the beginning of the battle, so all they can do is use basic attacks. Then I'm also bringing in Volatile Accelerator, again more sources of debuffs, and Amplify Agony as well, just to a little bit help boost the damage on your team. So why is it called Self-destruct? Because the strategy here is not to take down enemies themselves, but that you just kind of outlast them in the battle while thermal detonators stack. And there is an additional benefit of this set as well. It goes absolutely great with boss lead, because with boss lead all your bounty hunters, whenever an enemy gets debuffed, you'll be recovering health and protection, and every time unit gets a turn they'll be getting like 15 debuffs on them or something like that. So it means that your guys will keep healing up, while enemies eventually after a couple of turns start dying off from all those thermal detonators. So you'll see how enemies will just start self-destructing themselves. So here's the very fast over-prepared Darth Revan. As you can see, we keep healing up, we keep getting hits. Shock will not stop protection recovery, it will only stop health recovery. Now unfortunately they were able to get my Boba below 50% health, and then they were able to get rid of Bosk because of Death Mark. Slight bad RNG here, but now we get our plays going. There you go, enemies self-destructing left and right. Obviously you do still have to here work with Malak. I'm not sure what his obsession with Boba here is, but he keeps going after Boba, so we'll have to dance a little bit here. Let's get some retribution up, healing immunity. Obviously Malak here is a pain because he takes reduced damage from damage over times, from burning, as well from thermal detonators, but it's just a case of waiting for your Mando to finally get a turn, and he can then go ahead and disintegrate Malak. And this is a very good showcase just how durable this data disk set makes your Bosk bounty hunters, on top of obviously enemies just self-destructing whenever they get their second turn. Okay, I think my man is about to get a turn, so I think we should be good to go here. He keeps going after Boba for some bizarre reason. Anyways, there we go. Malak out, over-prepared Darth Revan taken down quite easily. So this was, I think, in Sector 4. Alright, so let's move on to another battle here that will also showcase Bosk lead here versus the final boss in Sector 5. Which obviously anyway already showcased this Bosk team in one of my previous videos when I did final boss guides as well as in Sector 5. But this time you can bring in Zam, because Zam obviously she'll do extra damage for each thermal detonator on her basics, so this will then allow you to very quickly take care of them. Yeah, well, Malgus will finish, kind of one-shot somebody. You might lose one character, doesn't really matter at this point. But anyways, we are feared, we're gonna clean this up, but you can see how the team keeps healing up over and over again, obviously trying to get this contract going. Boom! Zem works absolutely great with these thermal detonators. You've seen she just one shot their assassin. And we just keep healing up, enemies keeps taking turns. Yeah, that's it, guys, keep taking turns. Obviously with Darth Revan in there, as long as Darth Revan is arrived, those ability blocks will not stick. It's just something to be aware of with that. Okay, unfortunately, I lost Bounty Hunter resolve, so I can't blow up Revan quite yet. Might as well just do another AoE here, and they start self-destructing again with thermal detonators. Now we do big hits. There you go, Zem, her basic. All those thermal detonators doing extra damage. You can very easily take care of the boss here in Sector 5. So definitely Bosk absolutely thrives with this Data Disk set. They can really stay alive for a very long time. And same thing, like this Data Disk set as well is very useful versus Padme teams, because obviously Padme, because of steadfast retribution, every time you deal damage to them, they'll be reflecting damage back on you. But if thermal detonators are taking out the enemies, then you're not getting really hurt all that much, and this little bit of damage that you are doing, you keep recovering because of all those debuffs applied all the time anyways. So it's just pretty much kind of stalling the battle here, just basics. I don't want to do too much damage, just kind of do there. Oh, IG did a big hit there. I'm going to try and blow up there. Okay, all right, here we go. Come on, Kenobi, take a turn. There we go, down goes Padme. Self-destructing. Let's see if Ahsoka will get a turn. Yeah, there we go, perfect. So you can see this self-destruct Data Disk set works excellent with Bosk, but not only Bosk, there are also other teams that can obviously benefit from this hugely. One thing is Padme, you know, she's got great survivability, especially versus these kind of teams that got lots of, you know, attacks out of turns and things like that. Because of the bonus protection you're getting, and you're just kind of waiting for those thermals detonators to stack. They keep getting ability block, they can't use their special attacks, you know, to maybe heal up or something. So they will just eventually start dropping very quickly. They do get a jump start on you, of course, because they're over prepared. Why wouldn't they, right? Here comes Candyman. Okay, Kenobi tanking like a champ, while they keep taking turns and obviously start stacking those thermal detonators. Just basics here, because with Mandalorians, the more times you hit them, the more stacks of, what is it called, clan loyalty they're getting, which means they keep increasing their max protection. There you go, thermal detonators took care there of Canderous. Okay, so you can see we keep them ability blocked whenever they get a turn. So they all they can do is use basics, which really allows you to kind of, you know, just slowly pick them apart. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna do an AoE now. Wasn't quite enough. Obviously Django, you have to take him out twice. And this is really the beautiful thing with these ability blocks. You know, it totally disables obviously the enemies, while thermal detonators eventually start popping and they start self-destructing. Alright, so moving on, I want to now show you the second Data Disk set, the one I call Gone in 30 Seconds, because most battles, except the ones that have Malak in them, I guess, they pretty much end up in 30 seconds or less. And that's because of multiple Amplify Agony Data Disks. In this case I have two. Obviously if you want to do an overkill, you can use 3 maybe instead of the ability exhaust one, but I like to have the ability exhaust one as well here, just to keep Malak under control a little bit. So you've got 2 Amplify Agony Data Disks that deal max health damage whenever you inflict a debuff on them. Then I'm using Unstable Decelerator just to offset the turn meter gain you do get from Volatile Accelerator Data Disks. And then I'm using Critical Formation, just because obviously with this Data Disk set you have 1 slot left. Now in the past I would have used Entrenched there, but Entrenched has been removed from this set of Conquest, so nobody has seen it. Same goes for Lead Resolve. So kind of just some sort of protection or health recovery Data Disks that you pick up could be very useful here. And then ability exhaust, so same thing as the previous Data Disk set as well. You know, getting those ability blocks will be very helpful, and you'll be able to apply lots of debuffs on them because of the Volatile Accelerator Data Disks and 2 Amplify Agony Data Disks, again keeping enemies ability blocked. Now the difference between that and this ability blocks is that here you actually have to hit them to get debuffs going, that they get ability blocked, whereas the other one obviously that doesn't happen whenever they get a turn. So that one is maybe more effective against when all the enemies go before your guys go. But this one, where you can get a jump start to them, this one is absolutely amazing data disk set to run. As you'll see, most cases 30 seconds or less. So the first battle here that I want to show you for today's video, let's go ahead, find a suitable target. Coming back to this here Darth Revan team, Luke can handle these guys very easily. You'll see they will so quickly fall apart here. And there we go. You just want to one-shot Basti out of the gate here with Han, because Han shoots first, remember. Now they get a few plays going, but eventually Luke, with all his turn meter gain, there we go. He's just counter-attacking left and right. Will deal with Malak very easily as well. Anyway, let's get over confusion on him, so Malak can't taunt anymore. I'm going to go and pop a hit on HK before he unloads something. And as you can see, this critical formation data is coming here in handy for lots of extra protection recovery, so the Luke obviously can survive all those drains from Malak. Now with Revan out of it, we can stun Malak as well, which will help him, and ability block, and down he goes already. So very quickly demolish this Darth Revan team with this gone in 30 seconds data disk set. Another team that I like to obviously use here is Jedi Knight Luke lead, and the reason for that is obviously whenever somebody falls below 50% health, Jedi Knight Anakin gets a bonus turn. He can then go ahead, use Heroes Arise, which then gives an instant turn over to your Jedi Knight Luke, and he can go ahead then and simply mass stun everybody. Just gonna do basic here, obviously steadfast retribution again, boom, there we go. They're all stunned. As soon as they get a turn, if we don't finish them before then, they will die off from damage over time. So that's it. And obviously they're Julie for the revive, Revan is there for savior, and Hermit Yoda for the healing. So definitely a very easy way to take care of these Padme teams with your Jedi. So we got another Padme battles, it seems. Definitely, I know from what I've been asking, these Padme teams can be annoying. You can also use just a low gear Iden here with, you know, leftover troopers to go after Padme as well. You get 100% turn meter, you immediately take out Anakin. Now this Padme obviously was towards the end of Sector 5, so she was very fast, but you know, versus maybe lower sector teams, Padme wouldn't get a turn that yet, she wouldn't be that fast, and you know, you'd probably be able to walk away here with a 3-star win quite easily. There you go, very quickly demolish this Padme team, even with some leftover troopers. Another great way to use the data disk set, again, I already highlighted this in one of my previous guides, is here. You can get your Inquisitor battles done versus mini-boss in Sector 5, you know, just kind of randomly modded gear rate 3-4-star Inquisitors, get this done very easily. But obviously, going back to one of my previous video, HK sometimes does revive, because it looks like they loaded in the pre-Darth Revan rework HK that had some chance to revive the first time he's defeated in the battle. But as long as HK doesn't revive, you can very easily farm these kills, these battles here very easily. There we go. This data disk set doing lots of damage with 2 Amplify Agony data disks and Volatile Accelerator. Even a low gear, low star here, Inquisitor team was able to complete this in just over 30 seconds. So yeah, very useful and powerful data disk set here to put on most of the teams. Now, speaking of the Old Republic, as mentioned before, Sortie has an immediate impact here. So as you can see, I still have only 4 more Old Republic battles to go. I think I was doing about 4 a day or so as I was going through, because up until now we had 9 Old Republic characters, which means you can't form 2 full squads. Now Sortie completes that second Old Republic team. Now we have a total of 10 Old Republic characters, so this then allows you to gain 8 Old Republic battles a day quite easily. So if this is a feat you want to kind of just knock out in the end, you can pretty much get it done in 3 to 4 days, because we have now 2 teams. I'm still using my gone in 30 seconds data disk set. This by far is my favorite one to use for most situations. So you have kind of 2 teams. It's pretty much like, you know, the leftover Old Republic here with Karf, Mission, Zalbar, and now we put Sortie in there as well as Canderous for some damage, and obviously his constant attacks. And I've been farming this feat here in the Sector 1 mini boss. It's a very straightforward one, to be honest. They don't do a whole lot of damage. They got an initial opening sequence, but yeah, there you go. Sortie died off. It doesn't even matter, to be honest. For the feat, you just have to win the battle, and there we go. 1 AoE from Candy, and this thing is over. There we go, just one more guy to go. Boom! There we go, it was 18-second battle, and you know, very easily done. So let me show now. Obviously the other Old Republic team you have is the Jedi and then T3 there. Mine's only gear 8, but doesn't even matter. Again, you know, the other Jedi will carry this battle for you. So definitely these then going forward for Conquest 17 and 18, it allows you to really do you know, 8 Old Republic battles a day if you want to. So you don't need to really spend too much time focusing on it for the first week. You can just knock it out in 3 to 4 days and once you come back here to Sector 1 mini boss, if that's what you would prefer. Jedi, you know, very easy. Just mark Sith Commander first. I find him the most annoying for some reason. Lost T3 there, only great, but doesn't even matter. Again here, I already 3-starred this battle when I was doing my mini boss feats. This is just a case of farming those feats. So there we go. Again, we're going to take these guys out very, very quickly. For some reason, the other team was actually faster than this one. This one needed 30 seconds to get it done. So there you go. You can now utilize Sortie to get 2 full Old Republic teams down quite easily, but she can also help in another way, which is obviously the droid feat that I'll show in a moment. So you can see I did a couple of battles with each team and I completed now my Old Republic feat, so I don't need to worry about that anymore. Now we do have here in Sector 2 the droid feat as well. We have to defeat 50 enemies with droid units. Now one of the teams I highlighted was Rey Jedi training with 4 of these droids, but obviously in that team I was averaging about 3 kills because, you know, a couple of hits Rey would do because she's getting so much bonus turn meter, right? So she would maybe finish off a couple of enemies. With Sortie now, you can put her in the lead, even at 3-star, gear 8. That's her leadership there. You get some extra speed, extra defense, extra survivability for your team, and you will see, you know, how survivable here she is. Just showing you here versus the mini boss battle, how easy it is to farm these kills. There you go. We got counterattack there from BB-8. Took care of enemy number 1. Another counterattack. Enemy 2 number goes down. There we go. They're just falling left and right. So this is actually a better team there to use, because remember, you can get more kills than just with a Rey Jedi training lead, because she would get some kills done. Here I'm just reading what do these abilities do, but I don't think it really matters. She doesn't really bring a whole lot to the team. It's just that she gives them some sort of leadership there, and you can get some kills quite easily thanks to the gone in 30 seconds data disk set. Here it took a bit more than 30 seconds just because I was reading obviously what Sortie's kit does. So there you go. Sortie making an immediate impact after being added to the game, even at gear 8. 3-star, definitely very, very useful, especially for those Old Republic battles. Now let's talk about War Attrition data disk. So I'm still having my gone in 30 seconds data disk set at this point. That relies obviously on Amplify Agony and Volatile Accelerator to doing a lot of damage. So I just want to compare here a little bit of difference. Now the Unstable Decelerator, what it does is every time you deal damage, you're removing turn meter from the enemy. So there you go, I remove turn meter from Paplu when I hit him. So I just want to compare how the turn meter removal from War Attrition really kind of stacks. Is it similar? Is it better? Is it worse? We'll, I guess, go ahead and see there. But as you can see, we're pushing some good turn meter here whenever we hit somebody quite easily. Obviously, unfortunately there they did take out one of my guys, but doesn't even matter. I'll just keep going. I was hoping they would go after Malak first, you know, so he starts taunting, so I can walk out with a full team alive. But obviously I was doing my Sith Empire here battles anyway, and the stamina wasn't maxed as it is already. Now let's go ahead and equip War Attrition data disks. As you can see, War Attrition, what we'll do is once per turn, whenever a debuff expires, all enemies lose 4% turn meter. So I guess what's good about this is that it removes turn meter from all the enemies, whereas the Unstable Decelerator removes it only from the enemy you deal damage with. The downside is they actually have to lose debuffs in order that turn meter removal happens. But obviously if you do defeat an enemy, then everybody will lose turn meter. So I guess it's a situational thing. Now the downside is War of Attrition uses 4 slots, so I had to remove obviously Unstable Decelerator and then Ability Exhaust as well, just to make space for War of Attrition data disk. Let's run the same battle again here, and let's see if it makes any big difference or not. Is it worth having, you know, those 4 slots taken by the War of Attrition or not? All right. Let's see who they go up against first. Again going after HK, but okay, but then second hit went into Malak, perfect. What do you want to do here? I'll just go ahead, see what'll happen. There we go. Well, no turn meter removed because no debuffs were removed. But there we go. We took care of their Chirpa, which removes some turn meter. But obviously without unstable decelerator, then the target enemy is getting bonus turn meter because obviously a volatile accelerator will feed turn meter to them. So I'm not really sure about this one, to be honest. Personally, War of Attrition data disk, if it would be a 2-slot disk, could be nice, but at 4, I just don't think it's all that useful, to be honest. Just because with this data disk set, with Amplify Agony, Volatile Accelerator, you don't really worry about removing turn meter from the team. You're just kind of blitzing them down. And, you know, as the name itself says, gone in 30 seconds. Alright guys, so that's all for today's video. Hope it was useful and helpful, just showing you different data disk set that I was able to here to compile and put 2 very powerful sets together that you can kind of go and collect for the next 2 sets of Conquest, because the data disk will be the same. Definitely missing Entrenched data disk and Latest Resolve as well. But other than that guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.